There are stories that belong to a single place, a single town, a single road, a single tragedy. And then, there are stories that seem to exist everywhere. Stories that wear different names, different faces, but share the same haunting presence. Tonight, we are exploring into one of the oldest and most widespread ghost legends in the world. A figure seen on lonely roads, in silent hallways, drifting between trees in the forest. A figure that is forever searching and forever mourning. She is known by many names. The White Lady, the Woman in White, La Dame Blanche, Dama Branca, Mujer de Branco. Who is she? Why does she appear? And why do so many people across centuries and continents tell the same chilling story? The White Lady is not just one single ghost. She is many. She appears in Europe, in both North and South America, across Eastern Asia, in castles, forests, highways, and abandoned buildings. But no matter where she is seen, certain details remain the same. A pale figure, almost glowing in the dark, wearing a long white dress, often described as old-fashioned or even burial attire. Dark hair, sometimes covering her face, and an overwhelming sense of sorrow. Witnesses often report a sudden drop in temperature, accompanying a silence that feels unnatural, and the unmistakable feeling of being watched. Some say she cries, others say she doesn't make a sound at all. And sometimes, she's standing right in the middle of the road. One of the most famous versions of the White Lady legend is known as the Vanishing Hitchhiker. It begins the same way almost every time. A driver is traveling late at night, often alone, when they spot a woman in a white dress standing by the roadside. She looks lost, vulnerable, cold. They pull over, and she quietly asks for a ride. Her voice is soft, distant, sometimes barely audible. The driver agrees. She gets into the car, and for a while, everything seems normal, until it's not. At some point during the journey, the driver glances over, and she's gone. No door opening, no sound, no explanation, just vanished. In some versions, the driver later discovers that the woman had died years earlier, often in a tragic accident on that very road. In others, she leaves something behind: a scarf, a piece of jewelry, or worse, a damp imprint on the seat, as if she had never truly been alive. Not all White Lady stories take place on the sides of roads. Many are tied to specific locations, places steeped in history, loss, and unresolved grief. Old mansions, abandoned hospitals, ancient castles. In these places, the White Lady is not passing through. She is bound there. Visitors often report seeing her standing near windows, staring out into the distance, or walking the same path over and over again. Some say she's waiting for a lost lover. Others believe she's mourning a child. And in the darker versions of the legend, she's searching for someone she harmed, or someone who harmed her. Her story changes depending on where you hear it, but the emotion never does. Sorrow, regret, longing. Not all encounters with the White Lady are passive. Some who claim to have seen her believe she is more than just a ghost. They believe she is a warning. In certain regions, seeing the White Lady is considered an omen of death, a sign that something terrible is about to happen. Drivers who encounter her on the road sometimes report near accidents shortly thereafter. Others claim that after seeing her, their lives took a sudden, horrifyingly tragic turn. But there are also stories where she seems to guide people, appearing just long enough to make the driver slow down or change direction, avoiding a fatal crash. So which is she? A harbinger of doom, like the legendary Mothman of Point Pleasant, West Virginia? Or a protector in disguise? The answer may depend on who you ask. Many White Lady legends are rooted in real, or at least plausible tragedies. A woman betrayed by her lover. A mother who lost her child. A bride who died just before her wedding day. These stories often end in the same way, with grief so overwhelming that it refuses to fade, even after death. In some tales, the White Lady took her own life. In others, she was murdered. And in a few, she committed an act so terrible that her spirit cannot rest, condemned to wander, to relive that moment again and again and again. It's this emotional weight that makes the legend so compelling and familiar. Because even if you don't believe in ghosts, you can understand grief and the idea that some pain might linger long after we're gone. Despite being centuries old, sightings of the White Lady continue to this very day. People from all walks of life, drivers, hikers, security guards, even police officers, have reported encounters. Many describe the experience in eerily similar ways. The sudden appearance, the unnatural stillness, the feeling that something is wrong. Some have even captured strange figures on camera, pale shapes in the background, reflections that shouldn't be there. Of course, not everyone believes in ghosts. Skeptics suggest that these sightings can be explained by the human mind. Low light conditions, fatigue, phenomena such as pareidolia, the brain's tendency to recognize human shapes even when none are there. A trick of perception, a shadow mistaken for a figure, a story planted in the mind, shaping what we think we see. But that explanation doesn't account for everything. Not the identical descriptions across cultures, not the consistent patterns, and not the people who insist they didn't just see her, they felt her. Not all encounters can be so easily explained, and that's what keeps the legend alive. One detail stands out in every version of the story told: the color white. Why white? In many cultures, white is associated with death, mourning, and the afterlife. It can symbolize purity or emptiness, a blankness, like an unfinished portrait. Some believe that the White Lady appears this way because she is caught between worlds, not fully here, not fully gone. Others think the white dress represents the moment of her death, frozen in time. A wedding gown, a burial shroud, or simply the last thing she ever wore. Perhaps the most unsettling aspect of the White Lady legend is how familiar it feels. Even if you've never heard the story before, it seems like something you should recognize. A lone figure on a dark road, a face just out of view, a presence that shouldn't be there, but is. It taps into something deeply human, the fear of the unknown, the fear of being alone, or worse yet, The fear that we're not as alone as we think we are. So the next time you find yourself driving down a quiet road at night, or walking past an old silent building, you might want to look a little closer, just enough to be sure. Because if you do see her standing there, watching, you're likely to never forget it. And if she asks for a ride, you might want to think twice before saying yes. What do you think of the legend of the White Lady? Let us know in the comments down below. As always, stay curious, stay safe, and remember, some mysteries were never meant to be solved.